Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. c4 builds a strong center by controlling the important d5 square and creates a square for the knight to come to c3 without blocking the c-pawn. b6 prepares to fianchetto, the light-squared bishop, to b7, where it will sit on the long diagonal. This is not the right idea. This develops the bishop and gives it scope on the long diagonal. Developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. This prepares the bishop for development. e3 supports the d4 pawn and the bishop, besides opening the diagonal for the light-squared bishop and the queen. Bishop b4 develops the bishop with check. This blocks the check from an opposing bishop. Castling kingside tends to be safer than queenside because the king is further from the center. Good job bringing your bishop out early to build a solid position. This allows the opponent to kick a bishop. This misses an opportunity to kick a bishop. This is an equal trade. Takes back. This misses an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. This overlooks an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. This permits the opponent to eventually win material. This overlooks an opportunity to win material through a tactic. There were worse moves, but also something much better. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Recaptures. A very strong play. Right on target. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. One of the best moves. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. White's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This is a fair move. A solid choice. This creates space for the king to move in case it is attacked. This creates an isolated pawn. This is the only move that works. This is an equal trade. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. This overlooks a better way to capture a pawn that was threatening to win material. This is not the right idea. That's fine. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This is a fair move. This offers an equal trade of pieces. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This moves the bishop to safety. A very strong play. This wins a tempo by threatening a queen and forcing it to move away. This move puts the queen on a safer square. This evades the check from the queen. That's fine. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. This defends the attacked pawn. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This is a fair move. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. One of the best moves. This is the only good move. The pawn is now adequately defended. The bishop finds a new active square. A solid choice. White's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. A very strong play. One of the best moves. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Recaptures. A solid choice. That's fine. This offers an equal trade of pieces. This move puts the queen on a safer square. A very strong play. One of the best moves. A solid choice. This is the strongest option. A very strong play. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. One of the best moves. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This immobilizes the knight by pinning it to the king. This permits the opponent to force an isolated pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to force an isolated pawn. This is the only move that works. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. This misses an opportunity to force an isolated pawn. This allows the opponent to pin a bishop to the king. This overlooks a better way to pin a bishop to the king. There was only one good move there. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a bishop. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This evades the check from the queen. This protects an underdefended bishop that is under attack. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. This overlooks an opportunity to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square. The game was close to balanced, but now black is worse. This loses a pawn. That pawn was free for the taking. Very precise. This is the only move that works. This steps away from the checking queen. Right on target. This steps away from the checking queen. A solid choice. This allows the opponent to win a queen through a skewer. This is a nice tactic found in time trouble, winning a knight. This steps away from the checking queen. White finds a nice tactic with just seconds to spare, winning a knight. This steps away from the checking bishop. White finds a nice tactic with just seconds to spare, winning a queen. This evades the check from the queen. That was a free queen. This move puts the knight on a safer square. Now black can't stop white from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. This is the strongest option. That was a free pawn. This leaves a knight without defenders. That was a free knight. A very strong play. This continues down the road to checkmate. That was a free pawn. This steps away from the checking queen. This continues the checkmate threat. This is still on the road to checkmate. That pawn was free for the taking. Very precise. This continues the checkmate threat.